The fisherman's big net in a peaceful small fishing village. There lived a fisherman named Jack. Every day, Jack watched the boats returning from the sea, and his heart was filled with a strong desire for wealth. He always felt that the ordinary way of fishing could never enable him to lead a prosperous life. One day, Jack heard that there was a group of rare and precious big fish in the distant sea area. If he could catch them, he could surely sell them at an extremely high price. This news excited Jack. He thought that as long as he could catch those big fish, he could achieve great success overnight and never have to worry about his life again. So, despite the dissuasion of others, he decided to make an enormous fishing net to catch those big fish. Jack spent a great deal of time and energy and almost exhausted all his savings. Finally, he made an extremely huge fishing net. This net was so big that it required several people to drag it. After getting everything ready, Jack sailed his small boat alone towards that legendary sea area. After drifting on the sea for several days, Jack finally spotted the traces of those big fish. He excitedly cast the big net, and the big fish were caught in the net one after another. However, Jack underestimated the strength of these big fish. They struggled desperately in the net, and the small boat simply couldn't bear such a pull and began to shake violently. Jack tried to control the situation, but all was in vain. Eventually, the small boat capsized, and Jack fell into the sea. Fortunately, he grabbed a wooden board and managed to save his life. After going through such a life and a death test, Jack was washed ashore by the waves. He returned to the fishing village in a sorry state. At this time, he not only lost all his property, but also almost lost his life. Looking at his dilapidated home, Jack fell into deep thoughts. Meanwhile, the other fishermen in the fishing village still sailed their small boats every day and used ordinary fishing nets to fish in the offshore areas. Although they didn't catch precious big fish, the fish they caught were enough to support their families. Every evening, they returned home with their catches. The whole family sat around the table, ate simple meals, and enjoyed the warm moments. Jack finally understood that he had been blindly chasing huge wealth and had ignored his own abilities and the actual situation. His greed had made him lose his originally stable life, and those seemingly ordinary fishermen who knew how to be content and chose to do what they were capable of. Instead of having true happiness in life, we are often like Jack, blinded by greed, always staring at unattainable goals, but ignoring the happiness that is within our reach. True wisdom is not to blindly pursue the big and the whole, but to know how to act according to our capabilities, cherish the present, and choose the opportunities that we can control to create a beautiful life of our own.